Your host, Jania Butler, and we are here today with the New American Perspective. Welcome to the New American Perspective world. This is your host, Jania Butler, here on Millennium News 24. We got a great show for you today. Have you been tuning in? Have you been watching this Twilight Zone that we're in America right now? Have you been paying attention? I need to know that first. Okay, so first off the press, President Trump was indicted again. Yes, people, indicted again. Now, what he was indicted for, really, they just excluded the stuff. If you remember last month, the Supreme Court had gave him immunity over presidential acts. So the indictment, it was kind of like a redo of the affidavit. So the indictment took out the exclusions of the presidential act so they can make sure that they don't have to go back, to the table again. Okay, so President Trump indicted again. Okay, and so have you seen what was going on? Vice President Kamala, now you say this comma, and how you say Kamala, remember I was having trouble before, so we found it out, and you say comma, like Kamala. Vice President Kamala Harris, she has chose her running mate, Tim Walz. I know he's a Minnesota governor, sitting a Minnesota governor. You know, if we haven't talked about it, do you remember the DNC last week? I think some of us cringed, some of us were excited. And I think where they went with it is they went party mode with it. Like I've said, the Black vote is very important in this election and every election, local elections as well, but very important in this election because Black people are actually leaving the Democratic Party. Before, it was okay when Black people wouldn't participate. They'd rather for us not to participate. A particular Republican friend of mine, he said, let's just not have them vote because you get to count your base. Remember, this is a numbers game. So it's a base of people, of likely voters. So Black people, sometimes we like to vote, sometimes we don't. So we're the non-traditional voter, a voter that doesn't vote traditionally, doesn't get up today and say, well, it's Tuesday, November 5th, election day. Let me go do my civic duty of being a citizen of this country and go vote. So we are the non-traditional voter, okay? So Donald Trump has gone after some non-traditional voters. Harris Walsh is going after the traditional voter and using the same old tactics every single time. And that's what really bothers me about this, because they continue to use the same tactics and we continue to fall for it. So, I mean, they just get bigger and bigger, but the DNC, they use the hip hop, they had Common, Little John, Patti LaBelle. I mean, they did it up. This was the concert and the ticket to be at, right? But they didn't talk about any policy. They didn't talk about what you're going to do different from Biden. They talked about none of that. Okay, so what were they really doing? They're buying her time. And we have to realize that that's what they're doing. They're buying her time to figure out what they have to say to get the American people to vote their way. So she nominates Governor Walz. Governor Walz was the Minnesota governor who was in position when George Floyd was killed. So he resonates with the Black folks. Everybody's got to have a little resonation with the Black folks. So he resonates with the Black folks, but they're little socialists in their agenda. So we have to be very careful. They say that he's further than Bernie Sanders on the rightist, okay? And we really don't know him, so I can't, fully judge him. He's 59 years old. Him and Kamala are the same age, by the way. So, maybe his family's hair just whites out really early, but they're the same age. so again, Trump has been indicted. My problem with this is that they continue to use the justice system to fight this presidential battle, right? So in the middle of him running for office, I mean, basically they're saying that we don't want you to run. You can't run, and we'll stop you if you do run. And that's what they're saying. But that's what I'm saying. So why are we not, as the people, mad at that? Why are we not, as the people, when we see that our rights as citizens of the United States are being taken away from us? We see what's happening to him, and to only a fair point. And now he should see what's been happening to us, right? So his comment shouldn't be, well, the black people understand me because of what I'm going through. Now, no, you need to understand the black people because of what you're going through. Because the same system that they have dumped on your head, the reason why they do this so well to you, sir, is because they've been doing it to us.